Hello everybody, my name is Miss Remy and thank you for joining RemsCreations Take and Make Craft. Today we'll be learning how to transform a storage box disguised as a book, where you can stash your most prized possessions or your yummy treasures in plain sight. If you're watching this, I hope you've already picked up your kit at one of the San Diego Public Library's pickup locations. If not, that's totally okay. You will need the following supplies. You will need a book box, which is some kind of paper mache, a foam brush, a couple of those, some kind of paint that will match your book cover design, a popsicle stick, and of course your book cover design. Either use scrapbook paper, gift wrapping paper, or print your own, or even better, to have a customized look, use your own photos. You will also need some kind of small bowl or paint well that will hold your glue, your paint. You will also need some old newspapers or a table cover to put under your workspace, a little bit of water, ruler, a hair dryer if you have that, I highly recommend it, and also some paper towels just to help clean up the mess. So step one, we are going to be doing some prep work. We are going to place our newspaper or table cover on your work area just to help keep it clean. Look around your book box, the front or the back. There might be some kind of sticker, barcode label still on there. Go ahead and remove that. And lastly, we're going to go ahead and use our ruler. If you don't have a ruler, any type of straight edge, some kind of folder, like thick paper that will help you cut straight. So we're going to use that to trim off the white borders of your printed book cover design, or if you decide to use a scrapbook paper, or even better, a photo. This just gives it a softer, much more natural ripped edge, and it helps blend to the paint. So we're going to use our ruler to trim off the white edges of our printed cover design. If you're using your own paper or photo, just make sure the size of it is smaller than the actual book cover. You want it to have about 1/2 inch space all around. As you can see here, the more ragged edge it is, the better it will look. On to step 2, we are going to be making our own Mod Podge and gluing our book cover design. So first we're going to grab our glue and some water. We're going to mix our water and glue to make like a Mod Podge consistency. So we're going to have a 1-to-1 ratio to glue and water. We're going to make sure it's mixed well and evenly. We're going to go ahead and brush a thin layer of our water glue mixture onto our front of our book box. Make sure it's a thin layer so that it doesn't bubble up when you add on your book cover. So you're going to place the book cover right in the center, and you're going to want a little bit of the edge to show. You're going to make sure to put your Mod Podge on all of the edges. I'm going to press down from the center just to remove any air bubbles. I'm going to repeat the whole process for the spine and also the back cover. So once you've glued your front, spine, and back, we're going to add another layer of our Mod Podge just to seal everything. If you have a hair dryer, this definitely speeds up the process of the whole project. On to step 3, we're going to be painting. So our next step is to start painting. We're going to add just a little bit of water into our paint just to water it down a little bit. Make sure it's all even and consistent. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of paint onto my foam brush, and it's actually better to just dab off some paint on the newspaper or some kind of paper towel, just so that it's not so much on the very first time you dab it on. And you're just going to do a little tap 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 on the edges and kind of just try to blend it towards your design. I tried to match the paint If you are using your own like book cover design or scrapbook paper, just grab paint that matches your book cover design, just so that it blends well. So you're going to do this all throughout the front, your spine, and also the back cover. You're just going to repeat the process of dabbing it. On this one, I'm going to go ahead and also paint the back part of the book cover design, just little edges, and also decided to paint the inside and the back cover of it. You don't have to, that's optional if you want to do that, or if you want to do another color, that's up to you. Make sure to, I'm just going to do several layers on this, so I'm going to do one layer, I'm going to let it fully dry, and I'm going to do another layer just to have that even consistency. In this one, you have the option to, I just happen to have white paint. If you don't have white paint, you could just use what's included in the kit. You could just go ahead and paint the inside where the book pages are supposed to be, so I just painted that one for me white. For white, it doesn't have an even consistency, so you have to do several layers of it and let it dry in between. So I decided to add a little bit more detail onto my book box. I'm going to add little lines to make it look like there's pages of the book. So I'm using the popsicle sticks and just adding paint on the edge of it. I'm going to show you here slow motion. You're going to add some of your cream or whatever paint you decide to use on the edge of your popsicle stick. And you're going to use that little thin edge. I just happen to have a lint there. You're going to use that edge to press down lightly until you see that little line. I also kind of alternate it, kind of left, right, just so that it's not all very symmetrical. You kind of want it to have a little bit of a, it looks little different lines, I guess you could say, to add that layers of the book. So it looks like that. Make sure to dry and use your hair dryer, or let it dry completely before you continue on to your next step. So our next step is the last step. So we're going to go ahead and add Mod Podge just to help seal our book box. So we're going to add a thin layer on the front, the spine, the back, and also the side. So you're going to add 2 more layers of this Mod Podge, making sure it dries completely in between layers. After it completely dries, you're going to repeat the whole process on the inside. While you're waiting for your book box to dry, have it stand up and leave the front cover slightly open. You want to make sure it dries without sealing it shut, right? So you want to be able to actually open it and hide stuff in there. So here is the finished product. Make sure to wait at least 24 hours before putting anything inside the box or placing it on your bookshelf. Follow, like, and subscribe on Facebook and Instagram at RemsCreations or with the hashtag RemsCreationsDIY. I would love to see your book box and what you did with it. I hope you guys enjoyed making your secret book box. Join me next month on April 14th at 4 p.m. for the macrame, lanyard, or wristlet craft. So this is a similar knot. If you've already done the paracord bottle holder, this will be a little bit more easier because you've already done this knot. So if you haven't, definitely join us and learn something new. Don't forget to sign up online at www.sandiego.librarymarket.com and join us for the live Zoom tutorial on facebook.com/groups/scpl